Most of us don't plan on winning the lottery, but a woman from England did just that. Her winning jackpot ticket was worth an astounding $181 million. Great, right? Wrong. This unlucky woman played so often she had a routine. She would buy a ticket once a week and give it to her husband for safekeeping. But because she didn't have the physical ticket to compare the winning numbers to, she started tracking the tickets by writing them down on a separate sheet of paper. She would pick the same numbers every time she played the lottery. After years of not winning, she checked her numbers and finally, she'd won! Unfortunately this time, her husband had thrown the ticket away, and it was long lost in the trash. The unknown man in question had one job: assassinate the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, but don't get caught. At 10:10 a.m. on a sunny day in June, this assassin came armed with a bomb and a gun to take the Archduke out. When the Archduke's car came within range, the assassin threw his bomb, but in an awful display of bad luck, it bounced off the back of the Archduke's convertible and detonated under another car. Terrified of getting caught, the assassin tried to commit suicide by swallowing a cyanide pill and jumping in the local river. Disastrously, his cyanide pill only made him start vomiting, and the river was dried up to a sad 13 centimeters. As if failing to commit suicide wasn't bad enough, the police dragged him out of the river and let the crowd beat him before placing him under arrest. Sometimes people just don't know when to cut a loss. Melanie Martinez just might qualify after losing 4 homes to 4 hurricanes in the last 50 years. Most people would move after just one, but Melanie let hurricanes Betsy, Juan, George, and the infamous Katrina destroy her home one after the other. People question why she hasn't just moved already. But while she says she's thought about leaving, she just can't because she was born here. And Louisiana, well, it's home, as she says. But in 2012, Melanie thought her luck had turned around when the A&E reality show Hideous Houses called and said they were touched by her story. A&E offered to do a $20,000 makeover on her 5th home, and she took it. Tragically, just a few months later, the Category 1 Hurricane Isaac tore through and left her newly remodeled home in ruins. Now I've lost 5 houses to 5 storms, every time a wipeout, says the woman media now calls, quote, the unluckiest woman in America. According to legend, a caring German zookeeper named Fredick Ricefield was worried about a constipated sick elephant under his care. Frustrated and at his wit's end, the zookeeper decided the only way to relieve the elephant would be to feed him laxatives. The zookeeper's worries must have been deserved, because the elephant is said to have defecated around 200 pounds of feces in one quick go. If that wasn't crazy enough, in a bizarre turn of events, what should have been a happy day for the zookeeper instead turned into his last, when he was in the wrong place at the wrong time and was drowned in the elephant's dung. We've all fantasized about the revenge we would take on a lover gone cheater, but Feng, the 21-year-old mother of 5, might have taken it too far when she chopped off her cheating husband's penis. Twice! Now under arrest, the wife originally found out about her husband's infidelity when he left open his email with flirty exchanges to another woman. Blind with rage, the wife did what any self-respecting woman would and took a pair of scissors to his manhood while he was sleeping. The cheater was rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery, where doctors were miraculously able to save his penis. But still angry, his crazed wife snuck into his recovery room to finish the job. Feng hacked it off again, but this time she threw it out the window. Authorities were unable to find his penis a second time. Canadian accountant Joel Iffergan lost out on half of a $27 million jackpot in 2008. Feeling lucky, he bought 2 tickets for that week's drawing just before the 9 p.m. deadline. Unfortunately, only 1 ticket was bought in time for the drawing, but not the winning one. The winning ticket was bought just 7 seconds too late. Angry, Joel took his case to a lawyer and battled with the Canadian Supreme Court over the money, but neither side could let the 7 seconds seconds go for 7 years. Finally, a ruling was made. Joel lost his appeal, lost the money, lost 7 years of his life, and was stuck with an enormous amount of legal fees. Gianne Rogers was never very lucky, and highlighting just a few memorable moments of her life won't be easy. Like the time she slipped off the deck of a cruise ship and was stranded in the ocean for hours before being found. Or when Rogers was struck by lightning that melted her pantyhose to her legs and caused severe nerve damage, twice. Or maybe the time that she was swimming at the YMCA and heard that there was a phone call for a Rogers. While she tried to leave the pool to answer the call, she accidentally pantsed a man who was also leaving the pool to answer the phone. That man happened to be Fred Rogers, the host of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Tennis linesman Dick Wertheim was sitting on the sidelines in a folding chair on September 10, 1983, when a stray serve off the racket of Stefan Edberg struck him in the groin. The sudden pain was so severe that it caused Wertheim to fall backwards and off of his chair. When his head met with the hard concrete, he immediately fell unconscious. Wertheim spent 5 days in a coma with a bleeding brain before he died. His death is so unlucky that Wertheim is the only known person to be killed at a tennis match by a tennis ball. Poor Dick essentially died by being struck in the dick. Henry Zeiglin's life is something out of a movie. In 1883, Zeiglin crossed fate and set off a chain of unlucky events by breaking up with his then-girlfriend. Destroyed by the heartbreak, she responded by committing suicide. This tormented her brother so much he hunted Zeiglin down and shot him. The killer brother, thinking Zeiglin was dead, then turned the gun and shot himself. But in a twist of events, Zeiglin had survived. The bullet had only grazed his face before lodging into a tree behind him. Years later, Zeiglin resolved to destroy the tree. He hatched a plan and decided that he would blow it up with dynamite. Incredibly, by chance alone, the explosion sent the bullet in the tree flying through Zeiglin's head, killing him instantly. The odds of being struck by lightning once in a lifetime are 3,000 to 1. Now compare those odds to the odds of being struck 7 times, which is nearly 22 septillion to 1. Seems impossible, but that's exactly what happened to U.S. Park Ranger Roy Sullivan, who holds the Guinness World Record for the most amount of times one human being has been struck by lightning. During his latest clash with lightning, Roy was hit and then had to fight off a hungry bear with just a stick.